The most terrifying and mysterious place on Earth is hiding in a corner of the Pacific Ocean, right off the eastern coast of the Philippines. People know it as the Mariana Trench, but this place is actually a bottomless, mysterious abyss. Going down there means getting lost in darkness, nearly 11,000 meters deep, where not a single ray of sunlight can reach. Even the pressure alone feels like countless giants are trying to crush your body from every direction. Very few nations have shown the courage to enter this abyss. But recently, one country seems to have thrown out all the old calculations and dived straight into the depths of this underwater world. Yes, China. They're no longer just doing research. They're sending robots deep into the ocean. They're plotting to build permanent bases on the seafloor. They've even become desperate to claim the valuable minerals and resources hidden in the ocean's belly before anyone else can. Meanwhile, the United States and many other Western nations have lost interest in ocean research. So the question arises, what exactly is down there in the Mariana Trench that's making China so desperate? And why are they building robotic outposts in the deep sea? Let's find out today. Even though the ocean's surface is bright and shimmering, that familiar world quickly changes as you descend. Down to about 200 meters, the water is full of light and life. But after that, darkness takes over. The deeper you go, the more the light fades, and the water pressure builds up terrifyingly, as if some invisible hand is slowly closing in around you from every side. By the time you reach 1 kilometer down, sunlight disappears completely, and that's where a strange new world begins, one where creatures produce their own light from their bodies to hunt for prey. Go even deeper, and another new zone begins, where bizarre creatures like long-armed squid and puffed-up fish somehow manage to survive under extreme pressure and total darkness. Around 4,000 meters down begins the abyssal zone, where the eternally dark seafloor is completely covered in sediment. It looks like a barren desert, but hidden beneath that sediment is millions of years of history. The slow rain of dead plankton, fish, and dust particles from above forms layers known as marine snow. This carbon-rich layer has created a massive hidden reservoir on the ocean floor, and yet, because food is so scarce, very few creatures can survive here. Occasionally, though, a rare visitor arrives. For instance, if a whale dies and sinks to the ocean floor, an entirely new ecosystem suddenly forms around its body, one that can survive for years. This is called a whale fall. And below that, past roughly 6,000 meters, begins the domain of the trench. Reaching this depth means descending to a place where the pressure is 600 times greater than at sea level. Challenger Deep, the deepest point in the Mariana Trench, sits nearly 11,000 meters down. Here, scientists have found strange, giant single-celled organisms and ghostly white shrimp-like creatures. The most astonishing part is that humans have only touched the bottom of Challenger Deep and made it back twice. The first time was in 1960, when 2 brave men, Jacques Piccard and Don Walsh, reached it. The second time was in 2012, when famed filmmaker James Cameron made the dive. After that, an explorer named Victor Vescovo made several dives, attempting to reach that same depth. But in 2020, China lowered 3 people into the terrifying depths of the Mariana Trench aboard a submersible called Fenduje, and with that, history was made. But the Chinese didn't stop there. Instead, they moved even faster and more aggressively, building smaller submersibles and autonomous robots, as if trying to build an entire underwater empire before anyone even noticed. Just imagine, in 2024, China sent down a robot that was only about the size of a shoebox. That robot scanned the seafloor on its own and returned safely. This single event proved that where massive, expensive submersibles once had to be sent, these small robots can now carry out entire missions across the ocean floor. And so now China is building countless autonomous robots, each specialized for a different task, that can work together as a team to cover the entire seafloor, cheaply and silently. That's not all. China is now planning something even bolder, something no other country has ever dared to even imagine. Because hidden within this dark, high-pressure ocean lies an invaluable treasure, natural resources and scientific secrets yet untold. Some parts of this world seem to follow completely different rules, where a mysterious ecosystem has formed without any sunlight at all. But among all these mysteries, the most astonishing is methane hydrate. It looks like ice, but lighted on fire and it burns. That's why it's called fire ice. Scientists believe it could become the fuel of the future. But here's the danger. If extracting gas from this frozen ice disturbs the layers beneath it too much, the ocean floor could collapse or release a massive amount of methane gas all at once. Gas that could poison not just the ocean, but the entire atmosphere. There are also small, rock-like objects that contain metals worth enormous sums of money, called polymetallic nodules. These are used to make modern batteries, electric vehicles, and the technology of the future. In the coming century, the demand for these materials will grow so much that countries falling behind now will fall even further behind later. That's why so many countries and major corporations are already turning their attention to the depths of this ocean, where, hidden beneath the darkness, lies tomorrow's alternative to petroleum and oil. Yes, this dark, deep ocean is slowly turning into a battlefield of terrifying international competition. And in this contest, China is racing ahead at breakneck speed. They're no longer just exploring. They've already begun securing control over the priceless resources of the seafloor by building permanent bases and installing cutting-edge technology. Here, simply descending or gaining access isn't enough anymore. The real fight is about who can go the deepest and build the most skill and presence there. Whichever nation invests in science and technology now will hold power over the entire deep ocean in the future. And on this front, the United States and many other countries are falling behind. Their budgets are shrinking, their interest is fading, and China has seized that opportunity to pull far ahead. At this point, it's fair to say that in the race for the invisible throne of the deep sea, China sits at the top. But it doesn't end there. The entire communication system of the modern world runs beneath this ocean. Spread across the seafloor are millions of kilometers of submarine cables, carrying the internet, banking transactions, and even military communications. Though they look sturdy from the outside, these cables are actually extremely fragile. A single anchor or a trawler's net getting caught on one can sever this critical cable, and with it, halt global communication. And it's exactly here that China demonstrated a terrifying capability in 2025, a robot called a cable repairer that can descend thousands of meters, locate cables, and if it wanted to, cut them silently. While there's still no proof they've deliberately used this capability for that purpose, the mere possibility has shaken world powers. Because if these deep-sea cables ever fall under someone's control, the entire world's communication, business, and security could collapse. This is exactly why the deep sea is no longer just a place for research. It has become a battlefield for dominance. And who wins this battle will depend on the decisions made today. Because the depths that humans once feared are now becoming the key to the future. But if the power, knowledge, control, and resources hidden in these depths ever fall into the hands of just one nation, the cost won't be paid by a single country alone. All of humanity will bear that price. You, me, every single person on this planet. None of us will be spared from the consequences of that mistake.